So we're out here in what we kind of dubbed the logging trail. This is kind of a trail that we're pushing further and further into the woods here. Especially about this time of year in the spring, we come back and get a lot of wood. This is a great time to collect wood. There's no mosquitoes, weather's cool, all the brush is clear, so you can easily find down logs, easy to get in here. It's springtime and late winter is really a good time to get out and get a lot of trees down. I'll also probably be dropping a few trees. What we end up with is a lot of these black locusts out here. It's this stuff right here, real thick, kind of rigid bark. This stuff grows real fast, but it falls over a lot. So every time the wind blows off the swamp over here, off to my left, there's a real big swampy area just past the wood line, and wind comes across here, so west knocks these trees over, or they end up leaning into the other ones. And so I'm kind of selectively cutting those black locusts out. There's also a lot of this cherry in here out in the forest here. A lot of these cherries, I like these. These are a little better growing trees. Wood's a little more useful for burning and woodworking and other things like that. So there's a few black walnuts out here. There's some pine trees, quite a few oaks, but they're all real young. So I want to give them some space to grow too. But this is a tough time of year. We're feeding two beasts. Got the maple syrup evaporator, which all the smaller stuff about this size will fit real nicely in there. And then I've got the wood burner, the outdoor wood burner. That'll take a lot of these bigger, greener logs like that. This black locust burns really good, and this oak will burn real good too. Well, I think we're pretty full. So as we come out through the trail here, keep just cutting and clearing things out, and the idea here is to get a trail that eventually will punch all the way through, make a circle through the property for hay rides and other things like that. And of course, to provide a place for us to collect wood as trees fall and things like that. Lots of downed trees out here, a couple oak trees. Soil is real sandy out here, so that's another reason why you'll see a lot of these trees just blow over. They don't have a chance in the sand. Part of the duties on a weekly basis is collecting sap every day, collecting wood every couple days, it seems like, and boiling sap. So you can see here's all the buckets hanging from the trees out there, and it's still full of water. This is the last area to drain, it looks like, but I've been able to get the sap with the kayak pretty good. It just takes a long time. I did figure out the drainage issues. It looks like there used to be a drainage ditch that went all the way up and out, and it actually drained this area. This ditch right here goes through and kind of circles through out to the swamp, but it's blocked in a few areas, and it's also blocked up there in a few areas, which is, I think, the exit. This area is really flat, so it's hard to tell, but I think the water's supposed to flow out that way. There's a county drain out there, so at least I know what the issue is. So next year we won't have this big mess. So while I was out scouting out the area a few days ago, I was able to kind of make a cool discovery out here. So let me show you what I found. Now, I don't know how well you can see through that water right there, but there, I shoved that stick in there to mark the spot. But there's a small kind of like artesian well here. The neighbor had told me that there may have been an artesian well out in this area before, and from what I can tell here, that's water is just bubbling right out of there. I bet if I stuck a pipe in there, it would come up right above the surface of the water. So this is a source of a lot of the water that is kind of just draining and filling up this whole area. Still enough water out here to be annoying, but not too awful. Let's see if we got any sap in here. Oh yeah. We're here in this area, there's a lot of pine trees that were planted. They're in perfect rows. From what I understand, the guy who used to own this property, there was a Christmas tree farm here. And a lot of these are remnants of that. These are too close together for really growing well, and so I'm going to thin these out every other one and use that for some type of lumber or maybe some log structures here on the farm, so maybe we can build something useful with those. Busy time of year out here. I think this is probably the busiest time of year. There's just so many things piled on top of each other, just with cutting wood, trying to fill the wood burner. You know, it's still cold enough at night. I mean, it was 18 degrees last night, so we still need heat, still have to keep up with that. I also have to keep up with the evaporator and make sure we've got enough wood to, you know, boil the sap, keep the maple syrup operation going. And gardening season's coming up. We got to start seeds and get the greenhouse ready, and it's exciting, and it's my favorite time of year for sure, but there's a lot to do. This is the far west side of the property here. It's all wetland, all swamp. It's actually dried out pretty good in summer, but most of the year it's pretty wet. But here's the property line. Old fence. Real old fence. Some of the fence posts out here are steel pipes. You can see how it goes all the way out there. That big tall one, I think, is the corner of the property, and then it goes out that way. It's beautiful out here. Remnants of a farm long ago, long gone. Cattle maybe out here. Who knows what they were raising out here. This land was probably all cleared. Probably all farmland and pasture at one point. There's another black locust. It's one of the ones I was working on. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed a little time in the woods today. I know I love being out here, and it's a lot of work though. If you're looking at moving from the city out to a larger piece of property and trying to be more sustainable, it's a constant job. I used to do this with a full-time job and doing these things. Now I do just this all the time, and my days are never dull. There's lots and lots to do, and still so many things I can't get to. And so there's a lot of work, but it's good work. You know, a lot of people say you could trade. Why do you use a wood burner? Why do you do all these things when, why do you raise chickens and get eggs, and why do you do this stuff? You could just go to the store and buy those things. Yes, you can go to the store and buy eggs. You can go and have propane delivered, or do natural gas, or do other kinds of heat, electric heat, or whatever you want to do. But part of living sustainably and part of doing these things ourselves means that we're going to trade in that job somewhere in a far off city working for someone else, and we're going to come home and spend time with our family and spend time working alongside our children and working alongside our wife. And it's a different system of values. What do you value more? Do you value that ease, that life of working in an office or somewhere and making some money and then bringing it home and spending it on all these things? Or do you value that time that you can spend at home working and exercising and getting outside and learning to eat healthier and doing things yourself, a life of growth and learning and sweat and work? That's what we're trading for. So those of us who have chosen to be homesteaders or go out on the farms, it's a life change, and it's just a different value system. So, people have that question a lot, and they say those things to me a lot. Why are you wasting your time getting all this wood and doing all these things? That is the trade-off. Working for someone else and making money, buying things from someone else, or trying to create a family-oriented, close-knit lifestyle that you provide for yourself. And it provides this sense of pride in what you do. It's a sense of accomplishment, but it is a lot of work, and so we don't ever want to forget that. But enough ranting. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the tour around the forest and plans of the logging trail and the logging operation out here, the mini logging operation. Always something to do. So what do you guys think? Is it worth it? Is it worth it to spend your time working like this, or is it easier or better to work off in an office somewhere and just buy what you need? What are your thoughts? Throw the stuff down below, guys. I'd love to hear from you. As always, thumbs up on the video. Subscribe if you want to follow along. We're all about self-reliance, sustainability, and doing things yourself here. That's what the Simple Sustainable Lifestyle is all about. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.